The City of Dayton Parks Commission for October 7th, 2025. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Thank you. Call for any changes, additions, deletions to the agenda?
No.
Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll motion.
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, on to the consent agenda. Approval of the Parks Commission minutes from last month.
I'll motion.
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Dave, I think you're going to need to announce that Kaya is remote, and we're going to have to introduce her remote so everybody knows.
Just an announcement, Chairperson Kaya is remote today and will be attending via video.
Chairperson?
Can't win them all. All right, open forum, limited to 3 minutes. Do we have anybody here on the line to talk?
Yes, Dan Williams from MSA.
Dan Williams from MSA.
Dan Williams.
Hi, Dan Williams. This is the open forum part. Are you part of the presentation today?
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you for coming. All right, council update. All right, Councilman Slonik is not here tonight. Marty, do you have any updates?
I don't have anything specifically from the council, but just on project update, the irrigation systems are all in and running now. Public Works has reseeded areas at Elsie Stevens, Hayden Hills, Iron Gardens, and Sundance Woods. So those all being irrigated, and they're saying Hayden Hills are starting to look really nice. It was so clumpy before, now we're getting a full, it's filling in nicely, so that's good. Area 21 Park, we have got the trails in now. All the sports courts are paved. We won't be able to get those marked until spring next year, just because of timing. The oil needs to come out of the blacktop before we can put the sealant down on top of that. So it's going to be spring next year before we get to that. Seeding, we're toying with the idea of either dormant seeding it or coming back in the spring to seed that as well. We're talking to a couple of seed manufacturers and getting some expert advice on that. But we're going to get as much done this year as we possibly can. It's pretty close to grading. They still have the irrigation system to run in over there at the moment, so they're still moving along with that.
Sure.
I think that's all I have.
Where are we at with naming that park? Have you gotten any submissions?
Yeah, we have about 75 submissions.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome.
Will we
I
get to
think
see
we're gonna close it on the 15th, I believe, of this month. And then as staff, we're gonna come up with like the top 3, and then we'll let the city kind of vote on it from there.
Cool. Anything else from the city? All right, thank you. All right, on to the regular meeting. We have MSA here for Elsie Stevens Park Master Plan update.
Do you know if Kaya can see it remotely, or I guess she has the packet, right?
I was just going to comment that I cannot see anything, but I do have my packet if the slides are in there.
Sure, I can just verbally let you know which slide I'm on.
I don't think the slides are in the packet.
Oh, they aren't?
No, it's
You
just,
should be able to share it,
it's
though.
just,
Okay.
If you go to Zoom, it should be able to
Can you
be
share
shared.
it from your computer?
Yeah, I can try to email it to her.
I think I should be able to. How about now?
Oh, yep, there we go.
Oh.
Thank you.
Perfect. All right. Hi, everyone. Great to be here with you again. Looking forward to walking you through this. So I've got a couple of slides put together here. I know you've also got all the information in your packet. So what I'd like to do is just kind of run you through it first, and then we can circle back on any questions. How does that sound? Perfect.
Sounds good.
Okay, so from the September board meeting, we heard that you want to maintain the unique character of the park as an important portion of this update, as well as provide a destination experience at Elsie Stevens. So based on that feedback that we heard, as well as continuing conversations with both Marty and John, we've refined the previous two concepts that we took a look at down into one final draft concept. So I'll move through, since it is kind of a big park, I've got it broken up into the two slides, one with the northwest portion, one with the southeast portion. So moving from that northwest portion of the park down into it, coming in from the main entrance, we've got the old sort of silos, historic foundations over here that we're showing as being redeveloped into a destination splash pad and playground experience here in this enlargement 1 area. This area will be linked with the rest of the park through a series of pathways, as well as the road connection to the proposed kayak launch and the central area. Moving further east in the park brings you to this proposed pavilion area at number 4. The adjacent parking area will have room for about 115 plus. We're showing it as 117 parking spaces on site directly adjacent to the pavilion. This will have a roll curb around it to allow cars to get up onto the grass for events like the car show, or for staging, or even just for regular maintenance and plowing needs. Nice to have that ability to just roll on through and not have to worry about curb or vehicle damage. Following along through the park, we come through along the pathways to the central destination experience that will feature interactive art and seating area that'll take advantage of these views out to the river, as well as provide a focal point coming through the tunnel and down the pathway. Continuing to move west to east through the park, we've got a series of mowed pathways in the expanded native planting area here that can be modified as needed, depending on seasonality, plants, ground conditions. It's nice to have that flexibility within the pathways. There'll also be an aggregate path running along the river to provide access on multiple levels to the rest of the park. Coming up along there coming along this pathway as well along the river, there'll be a series of boardwalks and overlooks that'll provide fishing access and more views out into the river, since that was mentioned as a really key part of this park. So moving down into what's called the Cloquet Overlook part of this park, we've got that series of aggregate pathway connections continuing down along the river and connecting via a boardwalk back up into this very southern portion of the park. Around this part of the park will feature a Ninja Warrior style ropes course. Right now we've got that called out, something a little different, certainly creating a unique parks experience. We're also calling for expanded parking in this part of the park as well to support the play opportunity or the recreation opportunity up there, a picnic pavilion, and as well as restroom facilities. All right, so now that we've done just a quick overview, we'll circle back to the two enlargement areas to take a look in greater detail at some of those. So this first, let me zoom out a little bit here. So this first enlargement area 1, this is where we're taking a specific look at the historic features. So this is really going to focus on the history of Elsie Stevens Park, and to that we propose to reutilize the existing silos as either concessions, rentable facilities, repurposing as a restroom facility to support the splash pad and the play area. The existing stone foundation remnants from the barn will be repurposed into what we think is a really unique play opportunity. So since that's a sloped foundation or a sloped ramp up to the top of that existing foundation, there's an opportunity to do a really cool accessible ramp so you can have multiple accessible levels of play in the same play experience. Also taking advantage of the fact that that's just really cool. Throughout this area, we're proposing more shade structure as well as tree plantings to help create shade over the play area and to support the splash pad. To separate the spaces from the path, the splash pad, we're proposing a gabion wall structure. We've got some pictures of that later on to tie into that stone foundation wall and create that continued sense of history. The old barn will see new life as a proposed picnic shelter or facility of some type, whether that's an interpretive center or a shelter to support people coming along the bike path. This area directly adjacent to the splash pad play area will have about 32 stalls. There's another additional, I want to say like 12 stalls proposed up by the kayak launch, and there's another 10 or so that just aren't on this part of the slide. So moving into the heart of the park in this enlargement area too, this is where a lot of activity is going on. The main structure in here, the pavilion, right now we're showing as 7,000 square feet. This will have room for restrooms, concessions. It'll fit about 200 people seated, or 200 people standing, 120 people seated if there's a need to hold events, things like that in there. With the grade change out here, this allows for this building to be 2 stories, like the house that's out there now, with a walkout space underneath that could be used for storage as needed for the park. That also allows this upper area to maintain great views out to the river and to the stage and the amphitheater as well. So moving in through the park, this gray area in here, we're showing as a bioluminescent pathway. That aggregate gets seeded onto the top of the concrete, has a 20-year lifespan, but we feel this will be something that gives the park a really unique thing that there's not other places that'll add to the experience of people coming here for concerts at the stage. We're showing the expanded amphitheater area, continuing from where it currently sits. The stage will be enlarged from approximately 700 square feet now to what we're showing is 1,600, so a little more than double, giving the opportunity for more acts, larger acts to come and perform with the expanded seating area. This walkway through here will also feature pergolas to continue the farm theme in here with swinging benches as more unique seating opportunities. This play area here we're showing a play area here, close enough to the amphitheater that if you've got someone who wants to, run over there instead of sit and listen to the music, you can still hear the music from the play area, but it has its own separate independent location. All right, so now I'm going to run us through the big numbers part of it. Big dreams, big ideas come with the price tag. So to help with that, we've broken it down into 5 separate individual phases that don't necessarily have to depend on each other, with the exception of Phase E. Phase E being the pavilion structure obviously needs support facilities like parking to exist, but otherwise there's no sort of prescribed order of these. They're just simply lettered going west to east for the most part.
And you've done it by the geographic position of the parts.
Correct. Yeah. There's no sort of order. It's simply geography with the exception of the pavilion. So some basic assumptions before we get into this part. These estimated costs are all in $25 with some contingency in there. For the play area and the repurposing of the historical structures and foundations, we have an allowance currently in there. Some of those structures, we recommend there's further architectural study to get a very accurate idea of what those costs would be. So we have provided an allowance in there for those repurposing currently. Overall, all the phases combined, we're estimating between just shy of $17 to $20 million Phase A will contain the bulk of the costs for extending water and sewer service to the park to support the splash pad. Like I mentioned, historic structure renovation costs are an allowance only and will require further evaluation. As a note, the play area cost included in this utilizes poured-in-place surfacing instead of like the loose engineered wood fiber. Phase B will also contain some reconstruction costs, minor repairs to the existing paving area. So we'll roll into this because this may be a better way to take a look at it. So this is what we're labeling as Phase A. This is the kind of what we looked at in Enlargement 1. It's the play area, splash pad, historic structures renovation, as well as the additional supporting parking and the pathway connections out to the rest of the park. Like this spur here moving out towards the river would be proposed as well. So this features the splash pad, the multi-level accessible play area. You can see in pictures, the two pictures on the right-hand side. Like I mentioned, we're also proposing a gabion seat wall to separate the seating area adjacent to the splash pad from the pathway through the area, also to connect the sense of identity through the park. And then the fourth image on the slide here is potential, conceptual idea of repurposing of the silo structures. So Phase A, we currently have estimated as a price tag of $5.1 million. And again, that includes only an allowance for the historic structures currently. Phase B is the bulk of the parking at the center of the park, as well as the expansion of the amphitheater area, the bioluminescent pathways, swinging benches, this expanded play area. A note, the parking expansion in here also includes the bulk of the stormwater management for this park. With the increase in impervious surfaces, there'll be a need for stormwater management. We've accounted for this by taking the stormwater needs into account in the center of the parking island, or in the center of the parking lot. So instead of just getting, a sea of paving that's divorced from the rest of the park, you're integrating the stormwater and the parking into the park. So it's not, so it keeps that identity of a more natural setting. So picture one is probably, gives you a sense of what some of that stormwater, that integrated stormwater management into a parking lot could look like. Picture two on the upper right is a conceptual idea of what those swinging benches along the pergola going towards the amphitheater could be. Sorry, Kaya, I'm going to move you over. Image 3 there on the right is the bioluminescent aggregate pathway. Image 4 there's the shade sails that would be going over the top of the expanded stage area, and then 5 a new play area in here as well. So the price tag, or the current cost estimate for this Phase B would be $3.7 million. Phase C would be the pathways connecting the two parts of the park, as well as the interactive art and seating opportunities here. This cost estimate also includes the boardwalk overlooks and potential fishing area access along the river, as well as, as well as the mode pathways through here. I should mention all of these phases do include some additional lighting as well. So moving kind of in here, just some fun conceptual ideas for what you could, dream about for some conceptual or for some interactive art. Tree of Life is a sort of Tree of Life type image is shown in the upper left image. Boardwalks, river overlooks. You can see in the images 2 and 3, and then some potential interactive art seating opportunities. Could be kind of fun looking out at the river while sitting in the binocular eyes there. Real photo opportunity. What we're calling Phase C here, we currently have estimated at $1.1 million. Phase D is the expansion of the Cloquet Overlook opportunities. This is the Mode Nature Path, the ninja-style ropes course experience up top. The expanded restroom facility is the pathway with the distance markers, so you can mark out about a third of a mile, so you can do 3 laps about and get your steps in. Fit opportunities for fitness stations along the pathway as well, and then the additional restroom facilities up here. This and expanded parking. Should have mentioned that. We've got about 40 spaces in here. The current cost estimate for this phase D, we have at 1.8 million. And then the biggest single ticket phase in here is phase E. So this is the pavilion expansion in here. Like I mentioned, this could be, or we're showing this currently as a 2-level potential space. So this image in the middle here shows what that could be. So you've got a river, or you've got the overlook and the deck up top, and potential maintenance storage down below. The cost for this is really going to depend. The cost for this building is really going to depend on the type of building, the interior needs, the build out, obviously the systems. If you have an enclosed building and heated spaces, that's a higher price tag than an open pavilion style building. So we showed a range of prices for this building for this phase from 5.2 to 7.3 million. Building costs for this part of the phase would be between 3 and 4.5 million, again, depending on building type. So that is the end of the phasing here. So I'll move back up at the top, and I'm sure there's probably some questions out there. Questions, comments?
Starting off with phase E.
Let's get into it.
Love it. I'm always thinking, how do we turn this into potentially a way to pay off with income?
Mm-hmm.
Would the 7.3 include something that would be enclosed that we could do for weddings and events and that type of stuff for Elizabeth's
Yeah,
side?
so we pulled a couple character images. These are actually, so the top image here on the top left and the middle image here, these are projects that were recently built, so we've used these as cost comparisons. So these would be more in, the 7.3 package, we'll call it.
Okay. But that'd be potential then to have that be an event space that we could,
Yeah.
we're going to pay more, but we could obviously get it back with rentals and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It would be overlooking, the way it's set up to face, would it be overlooking the river, or would it
Yeah.
be sideways, or?
So let me zoom in a little bit here. So your main entrance to the pavilion structure would be through here off the parking lot. This back area in here, this could be open structure, so that way you could have like a covered deck type area. You could do the garage door style thing and flip up as well, or do the garage door thing, and so you could flip those up for open space as well. But that's the general conceptual idea here. Is this would be your potential open space, views out to the river type of thing.
Cool.
Now you say it's 5.2 to 7.3. Given the, sorry to make you zoom out, but the lowest picture where it's completely open air, what would that price tag be compared to?
That would be closer to the $3 million building.
For a plain nothing building?
Yeah, so
Okay.
this one would also, you can kind of see, this is more for a style idea. There would be still some restroom facilities going
Yep.
as part of this building, mechanical room. I didn't want to do that. But yes, yeah, that a more open air structure would be sort of that lower, we'll call it the base range.
Yep. I personally love the idea of bringing some of the old aspects in. I know I talked to great lengths at last meeting about that, so I'm not going to beat a dead horse on there, but I do like the idea of us bringing some of that to be used. I know the prices are estimate because I see like a stop sign's $500. I'm guessing, Marty, I hope you're not buying $500 stop signs,
No.
but if you do, I want to be that supplier. So I know some of the numbers will be lower once it goes through and some will be higher. So I do appreciate all the numbers here.
Yeah, and I'll make a note on the, to that end, the spreadsheet, the cost estimate spreadsheet that you see in your packets. You may notice that there's some line items that are still highlighted. Those are ones that we want to continue to investigate and highlight and fully flesh out before we feel that these are, still accurate and appropriate, but just as a note, some of those allowance numbers are in there as allowances.
And we have included a fairly robust contingency on this, which
Yes.
as we get more
Yeah.
firmed up on the design, then those numbers and the contingency will shrink as well.
Yes,
Yep.
thank you, Marty.
I don't know if everyone can hear me or not. I just have two kind of comments from this that, first of all, I feel like, I must say you did a really good job of listening to all of our feedback and incorporating it really well. And second, I, at least from an initial reaction perspective, see this as something that would really draw people to the park from all around. Even the, those little touches like the bioluminescent pathways and the interactive art, like that's the kind of stuff that gets you featured in, stories and magazines and stuff, and then people go, oh yeah, that's cool, I want to go check that out. So I think that's really, really unique.
Thank you, Kai. I appreciate the feedback.
So I do have a question, because you talked about putting in a ropes course up at Cloquet. There is a playground already there, so I'm just curious, Marty, from you, the perspective, how many years is it, like what's the estimate time when you would replace that anyways? Because
20.
I kind of feel like, the ropes course is awesome, but if we already have a playground there, why tear it out if it's still good?
So from a safety standpoint, it's generally 20 to 25 years for a playground. That one was put in, I'm guessing around 2008, because it was just after I started here. So it's coming up to...
So it is coming up?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. I just wanted to make sure that we were, if we do that we're doing it in the right timing.
I think it's actually on our CIP for replacement in 2028 or something along those lines.
Okay, thank you.
Are you able to get this presentation? We don't have some of the rendering pictures. Can you send that out to us? Can we get a copy of that, Marty?
Oh, you mean the slideshow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely send a slideshow to you guys.
I guess I just have a comment of hefty price tag. Love it, love the thought, the design, the idea, let's do it. But it's this, in my mind, versus the sports complex. You kind of got to pick one or the other. And unless there's huge grants, which I heard you guys talking about,
Yeah.
some grants that we could possibly get, but
I think that's going to be part of this whole deal. To get it through is going to be a grant situation, and maybe we'll have to have a referendum for the parks on a thing. This isn't going to get built this year, so
Right.
So we got a bit of time to figure all those things out. But I think that ultimately the two things are going to be different. This is going, the park. There'll probably be a community park for bigger events. The car show will probably move to a community park. Bigger concerts would go to a community park. We would also need a sports complex as well. I don't like using the word sports complex, but that's how I describe it at the moment. For all your baseball needs and all the sports things that we do with CDAA, and we would work with CDAA to fund that. So I think at the end of the day, there's three needs there, and I think we don't want to confuse this as being. It's definitely not going to be the sports park, but it's definitely not going to be the community park either. It's going to be a standalone destination park for the city. So that's my personal opinion.
sure.
And we also don't even have land right now for a community park, correct? So
Exactly.
yeah.
But it is part of the conversation, I feel,
Sure. Is this, Marty, price tag in line with your anticipation, or?
Yeah, my anticipation was around 20,000 for the project.
mean the trails part of the project?
20 million, sorry.
Oh, okay.
20,000 plus a few noughts.
With
Damn it.
120% contingency.
I'm thinking small again. What's that?
1,020% contingency.
So coming from Sioux Falls in the last probably 5 years or so, they've really tapped into utilizing sponsors of parks. So not just having the city front the bill. Have we looked at any parts? I know Graco has their headquarters here. A bunch of different companies are starting to come here. Have we looked at partnering with any of these places that maybe will give us, not saying $20 million, but if anyone is watching this right now and would like to give us $20 million, Marty's phone number will give it to you if you want to write that check.
Okay.
But have we looked at any way to utilize and tap into some of them resources that might be able to make it more fast for us?
Yeah, I think that's a really a good point. We haven't done anything actively on this. We're waiting to. These companies are kind of new to us, so we really haven't tapped into them. But obviously, there's sponsorship efforts and naming rights and all those things that we can start tapping into. We just haven't done anything about it just yet. I think that this would be a really good starting point for those kind of conversations to have with those people. But definitely, it's something that we would definitely look into doing.
Cool. Because especially if we do even half of the amazing things in this, there's going to be a lot of people coming to this. So I think that would be a good partnership there.
And you have to do it right. You
Yes.
can't just
Yeah.
shoot from the hip.
Yep.
And I think that we're going to be looking at all different kinds of funding opportunities. There's a lot of grants out there. We were talking about it earlier today. MSA have got a grant expert at their company, so we're going to touch base with them, see where we can get funding from, and apply for everything that's out there. Three Rivers Park District pointed me in the direction of a grant that might help us up to $500,000 on part of this project, and it's a repeating grant. So if you get it 1 year, you can keep asking for the grant going forward. So
No matching part of that grant?
there's not that I'm aware of at this moment. I haven't dug into that too far yet, but I don't think Three Rivers added any participation in that. They just got the full. They didn't get the full grant that they asked for, but they got close to it.
Fantastic.
So
Fundraiser for the city at all? Bake sale for Marty?
yeah.
A lot of cookies.
Brad, do you have something?
In Sioux Falls, were they naming like the entire park or different, would it be like Graco Swings at Elsie Stevens Park, and would it be
There was a lot of different things. There was a dog park that this individual donated the whole amount for, and they built it all. There was just a ribbon park that they just built that was named out for different parts. So like the amphitheater could be, whatever. So
That's what I'm
there
thinking,
would
like-
be some really cool naming ideas, and I think realistically,
You could
with-
also do something similar with that art structure, interactive art area, like they did at Allianz Field, where they put all of the donor names on the giant MNUFCs. You could definitely figure out how to make an art piece that integrates donor names too.
Yeah.
That's
and even
often
shared, the U has now gone to the spot, 3M Mariucci Arena. They obviously have the Mariucci family behind it, but they also have the 3M side. Yeah, I'm just saying, for the longest time, basketball jerseys didn't have anything, and now NBA and WNBA jerseys have anything you can think of on there. And it's like, hey, if it's, to us to roll back and say, hey, we're going to approve this, it's going to be $20 million, but between grants and sales we came in with, it's only going to be $10 million.
Yeah.
That totally changed it for taxpayers and when we're looking for additional help.
For sure, yeah.
if we
I think
need
that would be, to try and reduce the burden to the city is part of the whole process. It's very difficult for a city like Dayton to raise $20 million for a project like this. So that part of the build out, just like the water trails, there's going to be asking for grants left, right, and centre, and that's the way this thing is going to get done.
Is there any thought to bringing it to the EDA to see if there's any businesses that want to start sponsoring?
I haven't heard anything from EDA currently. John, is that anything that you... But I think this is probably the first project that we've had that is the right project to start asking for those funds.
Yeah,
Neighbourhood
somewhere.
Park isn't really what they're going to put their name on. This is going to be a destination, so it'll be attracting people and giving them some good advertising.
So I know that a lot of corporations will, or larger corporations will have a foundation that donates monies to different causes, but they're causes that are in line with that corporation. So it's not necessarily, Graco as being a home community. It's, what value, and I'm not sure what Graco would donate to, but certain companies that only donate for certain causes.
Right.
It might not be
We get that.
the home city.
But 20,000 here, 15,000 there.
It adds up.
Yeah.
Something like the ropes course, or it fits into like the mission of active participation in the
Right.
outdoors would be a good opportunity.
Possibly even like the Minnesota Historical Society or something for the siloed
Buildings,
area, or I don't know,
newspapers.
other historical groups might be interested in
Got
that.
river in the name.
Some farmer who wants their name to
Last
not
year.
be there, where the house is now.
Dean's, or is it Dean's? Is that how you say it?
There's Dean's, there's
Yeah.
Lean's, there's a few.
No, Hymas.
Hammer. Knock on his door.
Mm-hmm.
He's got money. Any other comments, questions, concerns?
So with the with the play area right next to the water, the splash pad, I'm just curious if you could explain the play area a little bit more.
Sure.
Just as a mom
Sure.
of kids, like sometimes you have that fear and that worry of going from, they're going to want to run between both.
Mm-hmm.
So is it going to be safe for wet bodies and wet feet and then not bringing in sand or anything else that's going to ruin the water feature?
Right. So I think I may have just only very briefly mentioned the surfacing we're showing in here. That's the poured in place, not like the wood fiber or the sand.
So that's a rubber type
Yeah.
thing that's poured in place and
Okay.
it stays there, so it doesn't
Yep.
move with the feet.
So it's like a solid surface, not like a loose fill or anything.
It's not like the spongy.
Yeah, the
It's-
spongy stuff.
It's the spongy
Yep.
stuff. Okay, cool.
Yep, spongy,
But it's
safety
solid surface.
surfacing,
But it's not going anywhere.
It's
Yeah.
not
It's not-
sand, it's in wood chips.
Yep, I think the color is probably a little deceiving here. It looks a little wood chip like, but we're in the cost estimate, we accounted for doing that poured in place surface, so the single bouncy squishy stuff to that effect. You don't want that sand, getting in your splash pad equipment, and you also want to provide, a non-slip surface as well, so.
Right.
And that's kind of one of the reasons we've got this shade structure in here is to provide, sight lines into both the splash pad and the play area. We've seen in a lot of instances where, there's a standalone splash pad in one area and a standalone, playground in another area, having some not exactly ideal crossover. Someone wants to go here, someone wants to go there. You kind of have to move from one spot of the park to the other spot of the park to the other spot of the park, and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And having them kind of right next to each other but still separated, we feel gives sort of a little bit of the best of both worlds situation while still maintaining that safety.
Right. Okay.
That's also kind of why we have this seawall in here too, to provide some buffering so you don't get, someone just screaming for the hill.
Thank you.
And you said that the bathroom changing area potentially could be the reused
Yep.
silo structures? Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely one potential. You don't always see, shower or restroom facilities with splash pads. A lot of times it's just a standalone, or not shower facilities. You usually see restroom facilities, but
Yeah. I know Champlin's Andrews Park has, not showers, but just like I think it's just like 2 stalls, but with a bench, and then it's easy enough to just hop in there and get changed.
yeah. And we're working on a splash pad installation right now where it's at an existing park, and so they're using the existing park building as sort of like the electrical mechanical unit room.
One last question I have I know you talked a little bit about the plaza and having that as the bottom as, storage and whatnot. Is there an option? I mean, I'm guessing there's a lot of options that we could have, but that we could actually utilize that for another type of event, like, some type of space that people could rent out, or like additional bathrooms and stuff like that. It wouldn't have to just be storage, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think that's definitely part of the conversation moving forward with that.
Cool.
Yes. Anybody else? Going once, going twice?
Sold.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you.
So
Thank you
what I
very
need from
much.
you guys is I need you to vote to recommend this for approval to the council.
I move to recommend this to the council.
I second.
Go on,
All in
Dave.
favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Fair enough. I was scared you were going to ask us to break out our checkbooks.
That's later, David, that's later.
Hey, as long as we get our
Direct
little,
all my money from coming here.
we get a little plaque, don't we, for us voting that in, right?
It will be really small.
Nameplate size.
Well, I just want to say
Fantastic.
thank you all so much for your comments. It's been great working through this with you.
Awesome. Thank
Thank
you
you
for all
for
your
your
hard
work.
work.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it. All right. Any other notices or announcements before we?
I don't currently have anything for the next park commission.
Good. I'm
Is
glad you
there-
brought that up.
Is there anything that you want to put on the agenda? There's potential for one thing. We're trying to do some concept work for reuse in Lake Diamonds, where the old public workshop is, to improve that for use by CDAA. I know the Park Commission has spoken about doing something with the fields that we already have. There's a potential for some upgrades there. Working with MSA to pull some concepts. That might be available for the next meeting, but that's about what I have currently.
The only other thing I can think of, and we have not officially voted for our chairperson. Do you want to throw that on the next agenda?
Yeah. When did we vote you in? Is it? I thought it
2
was
years or a year ago.
It's
We were
supposed to be in August,
Yeah.
according to our orientation
Okay.
paperwork that you sent out.
Yeah.
I actually read, just for the record, see?
Did you find it helpful since you weren't a part of putting it together?
Yeah, I think so. There was a lot of information in there, and it was very knowledgeable. So,
Good.
Marty, budget. As we know, cities and counties are going through budget season. Let's get a look at where we're at with our budget moving forward.
Do you want,
The words out of my mouth.
do you want this year's budget or?
Both, what we're projecting into 26, kind of where we ended up with this year's money, and then with that, going through the parks individually to get a status on where everything is at and an estimated completion date.
I also think it would be beneficial for us to know, because I know you are a man of many hats, even though I've never seen you wear a hat. But I know you have just a broad span of employees. Can you explain more, maybe next meeting too, about what you are needing from the city in the aspect of, if we do some of these projects, what you need for upkeep in that aspect?
Okay. I'm not having anything. I've got a lot of work here.
Well, I think it would be fair to say that November, December,
Yep.
those are
over 2
items we
months.
would like to see.
The other
Okay.
one for me too, where do we ever end up on the North Diamond Lake, the little stoplight that was going to feed into Vinewood there?
Oh, yeah, we got,
Do you have an update on that?
I can get an update. The North Diamond Lake Trail, yeah. I have some engineering stuff for that, so yeah, I can pull that together as well. All right.
Offhand, do you know if the DNR, what kind of timeline they have for the new boat launch in Old Town?
2026.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
I like that.
Yeah, that's, we're still working with them on a couple of different changes and alterations they want. The price tag came in significantly higher than they were anticipating, but that hasn't shelved the project. We're working through a few issues there. But
Okay, cool.
the anticipation is 2026 build.
In 2026, can we schedule a meeting at the park like we did last year?
I like those.
Check out all the things that we did, probably June or August, something like that, fair weather.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Sounds
This
fun.
year's
I
the-
haven't done that since being here.
What?
No,
We
I
did
haven't.
the Elsie Sedens
Right.
one
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah, that's a few years ago now,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was probably fall of 23.
Anybody have a minivan we can all climb into? Dayton short bus?
You want to go park hopping?
Why not?
Yeah.
We put a lot of effort in.
I mean, I love that idea.
Yeah.
Could we TBD even do one in November if it's decent?
I'm game.
I'm down.
I mean, because not all of this has to be discussed in November. It could go in
Right.
December,
December and
January as
January.
well. So if we
It'd be
have,
good to see the
like,
budget though,
if-
even if it's emailed out.
True.
Yep.
All right.
True. I was just thinking from a weather perspective, if we have a night like this in November,
But
otherwise
the
it's
night
gonna
like
be-
this is gonna be like pitch black.
Yeah.
November 3rd.
November.
Yeah.
Yep, because daylight savings
That's
time
valid.
is November 1st.
Yeah, I think-
we
Why
use
do I
your
know
common
that?
sense.
And maybe in May.
Sounds like May.
A meteorologist in Sioux Falls just posted something the other
Take
day.
that off.
It's,
Thank you, Mark.
we won't have sun
It was a good
before-
point, though.
I like it.
Or
It'll be
after
dark.
7 now.
Yeah, well,
for the rest
unless
of the
we
year.
Because
go
last
right
time did we do it in October and it got dark right away, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Is that all for Marty? Kaya, anything, Dad?
No.
All right, thank you.
Oh, did everyone see the invite for the Christmas party? Dale, everyone get that? I think last year from the city.
On Christmas party.
Dean's.
The dean's.
You know.
Marty's brisket and barbecue. Everybody gets a bag of chips.
From Dean's?
No,
No.
at Dean's, the citywide deal.
You're talking about the
Christmas
year-end?
party.
Yeah, Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
party.
Oh, has it been sent out already?
At
or-
Sundance?
Yeah.
It's already been sent out, but yeah.
Oh,
So if you guys haven't gotten, last year it was only John and myself. So we could get the whole team to show up, that'd be awesome.
I think you're
You
talking
gonna
about.
pick me up?
December
I know where I
10th.
live.
Yeah.
December
Yeah, I know where
10th
both of you
from
live.
3.
He'll be in Hawaii.
Yeah,
It says Sundance.
No, I won't. That's the 10th. I'll
Hey,
be
Mark.
here.
You're talking about
Yeah, maybe Sundance,
The
yeah,
one I
Sundance.
sent out.
Yeah.
Oh, not Dean's. Sorry, I got
Yeah.
Like-
It's
Sundance,
December
early
10th.
December 10th, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Kaya, can you make
That's-
that? Did you get that invite?
You're invited.
Yeah, I
didn't
mean,
know
it's
that.
a middle of a
It's the
day
end
sort
of
of
the year.
thing, and
Yeah.
I just started a new job, so I don't have a lot of vacation time,
Gotcha.
fortunately.
Yeah, congrats on the new
Congrats
gig.
on the new job.
Thank you.
I'll go. It's on my calendar. I'll represent us. If someone else wants to go have
I'll go.
a bite to
I
eat.
can probably get there too.
In my opinion, it's just great because I feel like so often we're isolated, and
Yeah.
to interact with the other parts of the city, I thought it was good last year.
Are we gonna do
I had
another
fun at
Christmas?
the parade last year,
parade?
too. It was cold, but it was fun.
The
Yeah, it was.
holiday Dayton
Holiday.
parade
Holiday.
is
Yeah.
December 4th.
December
That is the
4th.
4th. Okay.
Yeah, Thursday
Weather.
the 4th.
Weather dependent.
We're planning on starting the parade at 6:15 that day.
Okay.
And then pictures with Santa and tree lighting and everything following here at City Hall.
And then the one party is December 10th.
Mhm.
Yeah, from noon to
At
3
Sundance.
at Sundance.
And our meeting is the same week as the parade. That'd be the second. Okay. Anything else, anybody? All right. Call for motion to adjourn meeting.
Next meeting, did we discuss that?
Next meeting, Tuesday, November 4th.
It's election day.
Yeah, it's election day, isn't it?
My birthday.
We don't have anything on the election.
Apparently,
We don't
yeah,
have
Marty
anything
said we
this
don't
year, I
have
think.
anything. We can come in for cake and pizza. with
School
some-
election is this year.
The school board.
For
Yeah.
Anoka
School
Hennepin.
board.
Okay.
We could do the 3rd, Monday the 3rd.
Mondays don't work for me, I'm sorry.
Wednesday the 5th. Do we have anything else
Wednesday.
on here?
Wednesday
the 5th.
works for me.
Everyone okay for Wednesday the 5th?
Yep.
I won't be here, but that's okay. I'll be out of town. Sorry, I'm leaving that day.
And you've gone the rest of the week then?
That first week, yeah.
Can we do the following, but use it Monday? Could we do the 12th of
That would
November?
be city meeting.
Oh.
But you know
You
that
have
we're not
rest
gonna
days.
see the sun after 7 p.m.
What?
Do you have the rest of the other ones?
You know, there's just some things this brain
I don't
keeps,
think I've
and-
missed any, so if you guys
You're
need
fine.
to do it on the 5th, I'll just miss. But I
Call
could do
in
it the next
From the
week.
airport. Kidding.
You did 3 a year. You're
Hey, we'll just vote her in as chair.
All right, the 5th it is. November 5th,
like
next meeting. All right, now I call for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I move.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Meeting adjourned.